Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to subtract decimals using models. Today's lesson is going to be a little bit different from yesterday with adding. And I'm going to start off by using this same format we used yesterday, which is we're going to use these base 10 blocks on the side to model our numbers, and then we're going to perform the operation. So the first thing that's going to be different is that when we subtract, we only need to model the first number. So our number, the first number we're going to model is 84 hundredths. So we're going to do that by looking at the place value. So we have 0 in the ones place. We move over to the tenths place and it looks like we have 8. Remember that these blue squares represent our whole numbers, the ones. These skinnies represent our tenths, and these round red circles represent our hundredths. So again, if I have 8 tenths, that means I'm going to need 8 of these skinnies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more is 8. Okay, I'm gonna sneak that in right there. Okay, just want to make sure I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Okay, then I'm going to move over to the next number and I have 4 hundredths. So I'm going to grab myself 4 of these red circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, when we're subtracting, we're taking away from something that's already there, which is why we're not representing both numbers, because we don't have 84 hundredths and have 56 hundredths. We have 84 hundredths and we're taking away 56 hundredths from what's currently there. So that is why we don't need to model both numbers, okay? Now, we're subtracting, okay? So I'm going to subtract 6 hundredths. Well, there's only 4 hundredths there, so I cannot take away 6. All right, and this is why the modeling is so important, so you guys understand the process of regrouping. Okay, so there's only 4. I need to take away 6. There's not enough. So what we're doing is we're going to go next door and we're going to borrow from our tenths. But what we're going to do is we're going to borrow a 10. But when I borrow this 10, it's not in the same format, right? So they're not our little red circles. So what I need to do is I need to take 10 and I need to break it down. I need to decompose it. So I'm just going to slide this one to the bottom because I want to take it away, take it out of that column. But I want it to be in a different format. I want it to be in 10 of these red circles. So I'm going to drag over 10 of these red circles to represent the tenth that I just borrowed. So there's 4, 5. Okay, I got 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I can take away 6. Okay, so really, boys and girls, what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to right click on these and actually delete them. I'm going to take away 6. So if I right click on them and I'm just going to hit cut. So I'm going to do that 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I want to get rid of them. You could also cross them out if you're doing this on paper. Okay, but now let's count what we have left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Then I move over to my tenths. Let me actually just, I'm just going to type that number in this column here. So I know that's what I have left. I'm building my answer. Okay, so right now I have 8 left. Now I'm going to move over here. So now in my hundredths place, I need to take away 5. Can I take away 5? Are there 5 here? Yes, so there's no need to borrow. So I'm going to do just like I did before. I'm going to highlight it and then I'm going to cut 5 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut. I'm also going to get rid of this one that I slid over from before because I used it. I borrowed. So what am I left with? I'm left with 2 of these tenths. Okay. So now I'm going to just draw myself a little text box here. We have 2 tenths. Okay. And don't forget your decimal. All right. So what do I have left? We have 28 hundredths. So I'm going to go up top and just type in my answer. 0.28. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. So for this next one, we have 1 and 37 hundredths minus 52 hundredths. Okay, remember, we're only going to model that very first number. Okay, so I'm going to again look at my place value. I have 1 whole. So I'm going to drag over 1 whole. I have 3 tenths, so I'm going to drag over 3 of my skinnies. 2, 3. Okay, and I have 7 hundredths, so I need 5 of my circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when I'm setting them up, I like to do them in groups of 5 so that I can, at a quick glance, know how many. So that's 5, and then I'm going to put 2 underneath. So there's my 7. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm ready to subtract because I've just built the first number. 1, 3 tenths, 7 hundredths. 1 and 37 hundredths. Now I'm ready to subtract. Okay, when we subtract, remember we start in the smallest place value, which means we're starting in the hundredths. So I need to subtract 2. Can I take away 2 from this column? Yes, there's no need for me to regroup because there's enough there. Again, I'm just going to right click and I'm just going to delete them. 1, 2. So when I'm done, I can just count up what is left. Okay, right now it looks like I'm left with 5. I'm just going to draw myself a text box and I'm just going to write the number 5 so I know that's what's left. I'm going to move over to the tenths column. All right, and it looks like in the tenths column, I need to take away 5, but there are not 5 here. So what I need to do is I need to go over and borrow from the ones place. I'm going to borrow it. Here it is. I'm dragging it over, but it's not in the same format. Remember, think about to make this whole, how many do I need? And if you look on the video on slide number 3, it said that I need 10 tenths to make a whole. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my square and I'm going to move it over and I'm going to bring over 10 of these 10 tenths. Just going to slide them over so I can have enough room. Okay. So there's 3 there already and I'm going to bring over 10 more. Okay. I'm going to copy and I'm going to just paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, looks a little crazy, but they're there. I just kind of copy and pasted 10 of them. So now I can take away 5 of them. So now I'm going to do exactly what I'm just going to cut out 5. So cut 1, cut 2, cut 3, cut 4, and cut 5. Okay, now I'm going to drag over what I have left so I can count them. Okay. I'm also going to get rid of the one that I borrowed because it's gone. It's no longer there. And now I'm going to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there's 9 in the 10th place. And there's nothing left in the ones place because we borrowed it. Okay, so I need to put my decimal there. So I'm going to go back and type my answer. Okay, we have 0 and 95 hundredths left. Okay, nice job. All right, boys and girls, so that is how we subtract with decimals.